Hey there, Nigeria. John Oliver here, and tonight we're diving into your country's cry for good governance. It's a tale as old as time. People just want a decent life. They work hard, pay their taxes, and expect something in return. But what they're getting? Not so much. Nigerians are demanding living wages. Not extravagant riches, mind you. Just enough to afford basic necessities. Food on the table, a roof overhead, maybe a little something left over for their kids' education. Is that really too much to ask?
The current situation is simply unsustainable. People are struggling to make ends meet, and it's clear that something needs to change. The government needs to step up and prioritize the well-being of its citizens. A living wage isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for a just and equitable society.
Now let's talk security. Imagine living in a country where you're constantly worried about your safety, where going to work or school feels like a life or death gamble. That's the reality for many Nigerians. They're demanding better security, and frankly, who can blame them? But it's not just about safety from violence. It's about having reliable infrastructure, roads that don't resemble lunar landscapes, electricity that doesn't disappear more often than a magician's rabbit. These are the basic building blocks of a functioning society, and Nigeria deserves better.
Without these fundamental elements, progress is impossible. Businesses can't thrive, education suffers, and the cycle of poverty becomes even more difficult to break. Investing in security and infrastructure is not an option. It's an absolute necessity for Nigeria's future.
Remember all those promises made about the fuel subsidy removal? Yeah, those haven't exactly panned out, have they? The government assured the people that the funds would be redirected to essential services, improving their lives. But so far it seems like those promises have evaporated faster than a puddle in the Sahara Desert. This isn't just about broken promises. It's about a fundamental breach of trust. When a government makes commitments to its people and then fails to deliver, it erodes the very foundation of their relationship.
The people are understandably angry. They were sold a dream of a better future, only to be met with the harsh reality of more hardship. The government needs to acknowledge its shortcomings, be transparent about where the funds have gone, and take immediate action to fulfill its promises. Section 4. Silencing dissent, a futile and counterproductive tactic.
Now here's a pro tip for any government trying to silence genuine protests by throwing money at fake ones. Not a good look.
It's like putting a band-aid on a bullet wound and expecting it to magically heal. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work.
Instead of addressing the root causes of the protests, the economic hardship, the insecurity, the broken promises, the government is resorting to cheap tricks and distractions.
But the people of Nigeria are not fooled. They see right through this charade.
Silencing dissent only breeds more resentment and distrust. It's time for the government to stop playing games, engage in genuine dialogue with the protesters, and start addressing their legitimate concerns.
Section 5, the burden of governance, time for fiscal responsibility.
Let's talk about the cost of governance in Nigeria. Now, I'm no economist, but I'm pretty sure funneling vast sums of money into maintaining a bloated and inefficient bureaucracy isn't the best use of public funds.
It's like trying to put out a fire with a bucket of gasoline, counterproductive and potentially disastrous.
The people are demanding accountability and transparency. They want to know where their money is going and why it's not being used to improve their lives.
It's time for the government to tighten its belt, cut down on unnecessary expenses, and redirect those funds to essential services like education, healthcare, and infrastructure.
Every naira wasted on lavish lifestyles and unnecessary perks is a naira stolen from the pockets of hardworking Nigerians. It's time for a fundamental shift in priorities, one that puts the needs of the people first.
Section 6, a glimmer of hope towards a brighter future. Despite all the challenges, there's a glimmer of hope. The people of Nigeria are resilient, they are passionate, and they're demanding change. They haven't given up on their country, and neither should we. It's not too late for the government to turn things around. By listening to the people, addressing their concerns, and governing with integrity and transparency, they can begin to rebuild trust and create a brighter future for all Nigerians. The path forward is clear. Will the government choose to take it? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the world is watching. And the people of Nigeria deserve a government that works for them, not against them.